Hey YouTube, coming at your team during the Go Battle weekend there that I used Fearow, Dusclops, Carbink. I saw Fearow a billion times, and I know that Flyers are on a super rise this season. So I wanted to, and with all the grounds out there, I thought, okay, it makes sense to use one of those. So I basically thought of like a sort of balanced team with the save swap. It's not 100% balanced, but it's basically like Fearow is going to have problems with like electric and ice, and Carbink can more or less deal with that. Carbink's going to have problems with ground, and Fearow can deal with that, and then Dusclops as your save swap. So that was the strategy behind it. Dusclops and Carbink obviously have an insane amount of bulk in the back, so you can overshield early, which is why I have Fearow in the lead, that if I just want to start shielding early, I can. So in this matchup against Goodra, I know it has Thunder Punch. I also know it has Aqua Tail, and I believe Aqua Tail spams even almost, I think, even faster than Drill Peck. I think it's only 9. But I had to respect the Thunder Punch here, and they go Aqua Tail, which means I'm now going to be probably outpaced to this next move, which could potentially be a Thunder Punch. So I'm going to shield this one up. Again, when you have bulk in the back, doesn't matter too much how often you want to shield. Going to try and overfarm a little bit here. Hopefully they let this go when I come out with some energy. And that is what happens. And what's in the back but a Charizard, so you love to see it. They do make a nice catch on Jirachi, but that is okay, because all that does is allow the Dusclops as a ghost to get on the Psychic and allow my Rock Throw user to get on a Flying Fire, which is double weak to Rock. So taking the moves with these, gonna again one and throw because it's 3 versus 4 turn fast moves. So that's optimal timing here. Shadow Punch does land, super effective. Charizard come in and throw a move. I'll probably live an Air Cutter. I won't live a Blast Burn. And it is a Blast Burn, but now they are just going to be absolutely, I was going to say Smackdown, but not Smackdown. Rock throw down? I don't know how you even say that. There's a Gastrodon. Lots of those out. The only problem with Gastrodon is that now with Water Pulse, it gives you something for the Flyers. So Water Pulse is not really a move I want to take unnecessarily. It would put me in the yellow or red. So I'm opting to shield early here. It is Water Pulse. Out comes Togekiss, so I will immediately throw. I don't need to throw. I could have probably come Carbink. I could have saved energy, but I did grab a shield. I figured they may shield. Now, the strength of a Carbink versus Bastiodon. If you run Bastiodon, which I have, and I think maybe coming up on a team, I forget if I deleted those battles, you will be double weak to fighting because your Rock is weak to fighting and Steel's weak to fighting. So you'd be double weak to fighting, and these Aura Spheres would do like 50%. With Carbink, you are half Fairy. So Rock is weak to it, Fairy resists, net neutral moves, and you're just so bulky, it looks like they kind of give up. There is the Dedenne lead. You know you'd eventually run into them. Throwing right away on CMP here. So we'll take the move and get my move off there too. If they stay in because they boosted their defense once, I'm going to get to my next Shadow Punch before they get to their move. Just because you just spam at 9. And they make a pretty nice catch on Corviknight. Farming back up and then catching the move on Corviknight. So I'm throwing the move and I'm going to get into Carbink. Yes, Sand Attack is super effective, but Air Cutter and Payback are resisted. So I was just knowing that I could just come in here, take all these charge moves, force them to just throw energy unnecessarily. Yes, Sand Attack is super effective, but it's not that good of a move, especially against Carbink. Try to get some energy here. I think they are correctly burning the switch clock because our switch clock's already synced, and that is why you now see the Annihilate. So I kind of heads up there to spam charge moves so that our clocks, so that I would not be able to like farm up a bunch and go from there. So I have 2 answers for this in Dusclops and Fearow. So I'm going to grab this shield or take it out. There's no point of messing around with that. Let's just get this out of here. Dedenne comes in. Can I live a Parabol Charge? Yeah. Can I live another one? Probably not. I mean, definitely not. So getting out into Dusclops here. This is where your desync timers are all over the place here. Grab 1 shield. They're going to get to a move here, and now I need to make a decision. Now I'm going to shield. The decision is, if I let this go, I'm going to be taken out. And out comes a Corviknight. If I yeah, if I let it go, I'd be taken out, and then I have to come Fearow taking super effective moves there. If I stayed in, I could potentially just spam this down. That is basically a Drek and Peck and Drill Peck range. So grab that shield. I'll have one more, but now it is in Peck and Drill Peck range, even though those are resisted. Shield up the move. I have a move, and I should win CMP here. So throwing that Drill Peck, and this will take out the Dedenne. So despite a tough lead, able to win that matchup with sort of decent timers and jumping around. Dusknoir, good lead, obviously with Ghost being double resisted, normal double resisting Ghost. Out comes an Empoleon. I think it was one of those things where I saw the drill run. I'm like, I'm gonna get to it first, and I'm like, oh no, it's actually we'll get to it at the same time. And then I'm like, okay, let's just go Dusclops here. I can take Hydros. It's a non-Shadow Empoleon, so maybe I can actually take two here. Nope, just I'm going to be taken out on two, so I'm going to have to throw right away. If they shield, we'll see what happens. But if they shield, I think I'm okay just come back in Fearow. But if they let it go, I will take Switch. And the Dusknoir comes in, and it is Ghost, and I will have a move just because I'm so spammy. They could let it go and just try and sweep with the back. Or, yeah, that makes sense. And in the back, unfortunately, again, is Togekiss. And how many have we seen now? We've seen my Fearow. We've seen two Togekiss. We've seen Corviknight. Yeah, Flying is back in full force. I kind of covered this on my top Great League teams earlier in the week. There was a time when it was a very flying meta. Altaria and Noctowl and Skarmory and Jumpluff and Pelipper and Mantine. So we definitely had a time when flying was dominant. Talonflame was always around. But with a lot of nerfs over the past few seasons, especially to wing attack, it felt like we were kind of missing flyers to a certain extent. And now they seem to be back in full force. Fearow grabbed a shield. I do make a catch on Carbink. Obviously, this is extremely, extremely, extremely risky. I generally tell people not to do this when people like submit battles. Never come in with your hardest answer, because they're definitely going to have an answer, right? Why would you not have an answer to Bastiodon or Carbink if you are a Talonflame or Charizard? You have to. You're doubly to rock. But it was one of those things where I felt like I've already grabbed one shield with Fearow, and if I just save shields for it, even if the Carbink is taken out, maybe I could just overshield Fearow and win. Blastoise is obviously causing a bit of problems because of its spam and Hydro Cannon ability, so I'm just going to take it out here. With Dusclops, am I going to instant swap blindly? I do instant swap blindly. These Incinerates are adding up quite quickly, and they're going to have energy, so they're probably going to shield us to get to a move. No, okay. Did they up their energy? And it's a Dedenne going for that drill run. But now I'm leaving myself very vulnerable to a Pokemon that is just going to boost its defense like 4 times here. They have one, maybe even close to a second move already. I think I make a mistake there. I always say, I mean, I don't mind the charge move there. Like, I don't care about the charge move damage. I care about them boosting their defense. So I think you maybe just throw on bad timing to get that charge move off to hit them before. It'll be close here. I don't know if I can live a play rough from this range. But we're about to find out, because here comes a CMP. If I live, I win. If I don't, I will be taken out here. And unfortunately, when that notification comes up, level 71 there, super effective charge moves, I knew that I was going to lose that matchup. Quagsire gets out immediately. Sandslash. Okay, so what you're seeing here is stupidity. It's like an immediate, it's just hesitation. My hesitation was, basically my thought process was, okay, great matchup against Quagsire. Out comes something. I see ice, and then I'm like, I should go Carbink. But then I hesitated because I'm like, well, no, this thing has Drill Run, and Drill Run would be super effective. So then I just like hesitated, and I'm like, oh no, now my switch clock is desynced. Let's just get Dusclops in here, but now they have so much energy. So now Dusclops is going to have to, as you're going to see here, shield this last move, because I let them get so much energy, and I have to keep switch on Fearow because I could not have a Carbink go against the Quagsire. So now I'm down a shield. Quagsire is going to come in. I'm in mud shot range. So I will be able to chip one, maybe two. I do get a second one off, which is great, but they're at like what, 3 mud shots already? Maybe 4 by the time I get taken out here. Which means that if they can just stay in and get, I'm pretty sure that's just Aqua Tail, but I don't even really want to take an Aqua Tail from a Shadow Quagsire, so I shield that up. And it is a Charger Bug in the back, and this is why you have to keep alignment when you see that on the front. They probably have, they have a Quagsire on the front, they probably have something to deal with grass in the back. And most things that deal with grass in the back are not things that are going to beat Carbink. What, like, ground doesn't beat grass, water doesn't beat grass. So you don't need to worry too much about the back line beating Carbink, because it's very unlikely. Maybe an ice, but no, you hit super effective against ice with your rock. So that is why you just kind of need to be aware of team building. Grab one shield with that rock slide, get to the drill peck. This will grab the second shield. How close am I to a third? I think that's just Aqua Tail. Again, they've already dumped before, so it's probably just Aqua Tail. Yeah. Does a lot, but not enough. And with that, I'm at another move. Scizor. Not a good matchup because you lose CMP against Scizor. And as you can see here, the bullet punches are really adding up. And Scizor is obviously going to do very, very well against Carbink because I'm double weak to bullet punch. So I have to stay in here. I have to go down. Unfortunately for me, they get the double attack boost. Not that I wasn't going to maybe not shield anyways because Night Slash is super effective. But with a double boost, best believe I'm going to be shielding. Getting to the next Shadow Punch. They could shield actually. Double shield and get one more move off because they're boosted. But they decide not to. And Bastiodon is brutal because they are half steel. So steel will resist the rock and the fairy, which means I have no charge moves for the Carbink to throw. So I am staying in with Dusclops. I am trying to chip as much as I can. I wouldn't even be surprised if they throw a move if I consider shielding one more time, because I don't know if I can do anything with Rock Throw and Moonblast from this range. And I think I'm trying to size that up right now. Do let it go, hoping that yellow is deep enough. You know, I'm bulky enough. I can probably take a charge move. And then you'll have to just see what's in the back here. And they're not getting out, but why would they, right? Steel resist, they're heading neutral against me. I figured Moonblast is a better move and maybe takes it low enough that I can just rock throw it down. Obviously, that does not do much at all. Now, if I take this charge move, which I'm debating, it's probably going to put me low enough that I'm in like fast move damage range / just one charge move. Does not help when the back Pokemon is in a zoom roll. So this game is over. Not much I can do about the Bastiodon in the back there. Fearow into Dedenne. Another bad lead. So we'll go out here immediately and throw immediately. And it doesn't look like they threw. Did they catch? They did not. So that is nice chip, right? You can see the difference in damage when you do a Shadow Punch before versus after they Parabol Charge. This may be more attack heavy Dedenne, because I feel like that damage did more and my charge move did quite a lot. So maybe it's an attack heavy Dedenne. They did boost for the second time, taking me to the red. And with that, I can only take them to the yellow, but I should outpace the next move here because it's just straight 9s, which will outpace the 10s. So get to the third move. Is enough to take out 1 HP, but enough to take it out. So I do flip that matchup. Credilli comes in, throwing immediately here. Not knowing if I get to a Ice Punch, which would be super effective, but I think I'm 1 away. Just giving up Switch, you know, Is it worth taking one more move to ensure you don't give up switch here? Maybe. But Fearow's just so glassy. I didn't want this thing to get too much energy, especially with Rock Tomb being super effective. So there's the Rock Tomb. And because I gave up switch to not allow them to get energy, I get to a move before they get to a move, which means they're going to have to shield if they want to get the move off. And they do want to get the move off, so they will shield. I'll shield back because I don't know what's in the back yet. And in the back is an Annihilate. So I'm coming in with Dusclops. It was mostly to reset the Fearow's Rock Tombs that it took. It lowered my attack by 2. I don't think that staying in would be smart there. You take neutral from fighting because you're half rock, but you're so bulky that I'm able to take 2 Rage Fists. I don't even care if they know this is a bait because even if they let this go, they're in peck range and they know that. So they have to shield, and they make a really smart, nice catch on Credilli. Did not even remember that this thing was alive. I can get a couple more pecks here, which does take it to the deep, deep red. They will take me out with a Rage Fist, and now it's, can I resisted Rock Throwdown before they get to a charge move here? And the answer is yes, I can. So, despite the catch, winning that matchup here. Wigglytuff. Much like Wiggly does in most matchups, it just overpowers with these charms that it can shield early, get to the AC Wind, lower the attack. Again, the charms are putting on pressure. I will get to another charge move, but it will not be enough after they lower my attack here. But I am going to throw right away. Maybe, because I've timed it well, I can get to a third charge move here. Because Charm is taken down just enough, and I can. But they make a really nice catch on Bastiodon. And I don't have an immediate answer. Oh, Gastrodon, right. This is my last battle. I put Gastrodon in. I think it was maybe close to after that Bastiodon matchup that I'm like, and I'm probably do well. It probably was that because Go Battle Day, as I mentioned in one of the, I don't forget which video it was, how the Go Battle Day teams change, and you see a lot more Bastiodons, and you see a lot more Carbinks, and you see a lot more toxic teams because people just want to rush through the 100 battles. So when I think I saw a couple of Bastiodons in a row with this team, I then switched to Gastrodon in the back. And with it, win this matchup. And I think this will be the last matchup because I only showcased one with Gastrodon. And I think this is it. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of gone over on the top teams. I think top teams video in particular, that flying and ground pairing or flying and steel pairing. We've seen Altaria and Empoleon. We've seen Gastrodon and Corviknight. We've seen Marowak with like a Fearow. I think any of these flying ground pairings with a safe swap is going to do very, very, very well in this current Open Great League meta. So pick your flyer: Fearow, Togekiss, Corviknight, Talonflame. Pick your ground: Gastrodon, Marowak. Clodsire a little less, especially, and go from there. I am aware that if you go flyer ground, you are double weak in most cases, unless you use like a Corviknight or Talonflame, that neutralizes the ice. But if you go something like Fearow, Togekiss with a Marowak, you will be double weak to ice. Like Dugong would be an issue. So maybe if you're going to use that pairing, have an answer for Dugong in the mid game. You can also, but if it's like Sand Slash, you hit Super Effective with the Mud Slap, so that's actually a good matchup for like Carbink. For Gastrodon or for Marowak, so you don't need to worry about that. Or you go with like Gastrodon, you offset the ice weakness there. Yeah, so you can offset it with a Corviknight or Talonflame on the flying end. You can offset it with a Gastrodon or Quagsire if you want to use that on the ground end. And that's how you not avoid the double ice weakness, or you can pair two things double weak to ice, and then just offset it with a like fighter or something that can beat ice as well. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.